the Ontario Hockey League on Rogers Sportsnet. Brought to you by Canada Post, proud sponsor of the Canadian Hockey League. By Napa, get the good stuff. For the store near you, call 1-866-GET-NAPA. And by Subway Restaurants. Try Subway's delicious new fresh toasted barbecue steak with melted Monterey cheddar cheese. Fresh toasted at Subway. Eat fresh.
Welcome back to the Molson Center in Barrie for tonight's matchup. Our starting goaltenders brought to you by ADT, always there, getting the nod for the Owen Sound Attack. The former member of the Saginaw Spirit and a fifth-round pick of the Boston Bruins, Mike Brown. And at the other end for the hometown Barrie Colts, the former member of the Owen Sound Attack, the product of Labrador City, Newfoundland, Dan LaCosta. And how he'd love to beat his old teammates this evening. Our referee is Ryan Carroll, the linesman John Campbell, and Jamie Clark. This is meeting number 5 of these two rivals. They play 6 times despite the fact that they participate in different conferences. And so far, Owen Sound has 2 wins, including 1 in overtime, and a pair of ties in their last 2 meetings, including one on January the 19th, a 2-2 draw. And we're underway here in Barrie. Ruzicka in the corner battling with Andrew Dennis. Here in Lewicki runs into Scott Giles. There's Owen Sound with some early pressure. And it's flipped out to the neutral zone. Morrison plays it inside the Owen Sound zone. And Paul Bizanet, another former member of Saginaw, acquired in a trade, plays it out. Giles, a hard snapshot that seemed to fool LaCosta a little bit. Giles into the slot, looking for Ruzicka. That's broken up by Robinson. Robinson will shoot it in deep. Lewicki in on the forecheck. A former member of the Sault Ste. Marie Greyhounds. Hunter Tremblay on the forecheck along with Lewicki. The Colts have been excellent in this building this season, posting a record of 14-5, 0-2. They've been awfully tough at home. Owen Sound has lost just 9 times in regulation all season. Tremblay enjoying a career year for Hamilton on right wing for Bryan Little. Oh, he's explosive and lets a quick wrist shot go wide of the target. Michael Root, deep in his own zone, the son of former NHLer Bill Root. Played 247 games with the likes of Montreal, Toronto, St. Louis, and Philadelphia. Andrei Sekera, the Slovakian national junior team member. Lucas Balfi played for the Czech Republic in Grand Forks, North Dakota at the World Juniors. Tremblay on the ice with Hamilton and Little. Kaverko watched closely by Little and gets away. It's Riddle backhanded in.
Tight checking already in this game, Peter. The first 3 minutes of this period has been hitting. Good, hard, high-tempo game.
Hanley to the front of the net, and speared to the boards by LaCosta. Jonathan Lehan to Kaverko. His shot blocked up in front by Nicholas Plastino, and he's just back in the lineup. Barrie's number 8 after missing 27 games. Nice lead pass to Rob Heisey. Heisey in full flight, redirected, and Brown kicked that away. Cullen Hanley on the outlet, receives it back. Hanley into the zone, one-on-one. Doing a nice job on him defensively was the newcomer Todd Perry. Lehan lets it go, and LaCosta will dive on the loose puck.
Well, we already see that the work ethic by both teams is very, very high. Mike Stothers wanted to make sure that his team was prepared in this building because Barrie is a hard work team, and he knows that hard work can win against skill at any time. So his team being a skilled team, they have to make sure they're prepared to play, and already we've seen each team hustling to the puck, first on it, making big hits, everybody trying to get involved very early.
Good tempo to the first 2 minutes and 59 seconds. Richardson back out on the ice with Ruzicka and Giles. Giles playing in place of the injured Bobby Ryan. Suffered that shoulder injury in the Prospects game last Wednesday in Vancouver, and that was very disappointing to watch. Richardson out of the corner gets knocked down. Matt Smith fans in a slap shot. And moving out of the zone is Andrew Marshall. Marshall with a pretty good burst. Watch closely. Plays it towards youngster Jordan Shine. And Giles turns it over to Travis Fuller. Fuller a shot from a sharp angle, and Brown a little off balance, but hangs on.
Marty Williamson, the head coach for the Barrie Colts, is in his rookie season here in the Ontario Hockey League, feeling his way around, saying that there's a lot of things that are focused on in this league. Special teams is very important for them to focus on, as well as line match, and we've already seen him trying to get Lewicki out against Brad Richardson early on in this game.
As the head coach of the Aurora Tigers, Williamson led that team 1 year ago to the Royal Bank Cup title in Grand Prairie, Alberta. Ball drops it off in his own zone to Michael Root. Root missing Morrison, and it turns into an icing call.
And a good look at the season series between these two teams. Normally, different conference teams only play each other twice, but this rivalry is so big, the Ontario Hockey League has them playing against each other 6 times. You can see that the power play for Owen Sound, 3 for 16, Barrie 2 for 15, but Stefan Ruzicka has been fantastic in the 4 games, 3 goals, 4 assists for 7 points. Patrick
Jarrett, the captain, the 20-year-old, on the ice with Robin Big Snake. And what a story Big Snake has been. Was let go on waivers, played in Portland last year. The Western Hockey League had 49 points in his years in the Western League, has 33 already this year in Owen Sound. Is the shot by Robinson, no trouble for Brown, who takes a little bit of a spray.
Peter, bringing in Robin Big Snake, the team wanted to have some toughness, maybe to let the skill guys have a little bit of room, but Big Snake has come in. Not only has he provided the toughness, some fighting, but he's also been scoring goals for this team. He had 230 penalty minutes last year in the Western Hockey League, and bringing him in has been such a great acquisition for the second line, playing with Patrick Jarrett and Jeff Krizakis tonight. He provides a lot of everything on this team.
And he's really a crowd favorite in Owen Sound. In his first game, he had the Gordie Howe hat trick, a goal and an assist, and was also involved in a little tussle. As referee, Ryan Carroll is going to hand out the game's first penalty for hooking.
Well, it's going to be a hooking call against the Owen Sound Attack. Bob Sanguinetti is all over Rob Heisey, off to the side of the net, trying to keep a good eye on him, knowing that he's an offensive player. A little hook at the last second. The referee calls it close.
Heisey with 57 points already this season. Sanguinetti, the youngster from the United States, finds himself in the sin bin, and Barrie with the game's first power play chance. Ball, Scott Hutham, a good shot. I believe B.J. Crombeen got a stick on it, and Brown in good position.
Well, special teams for this Barrie squad has not been very good this year. Power play 16th, only 16.2% in the Ontario Hockey League. Not as good as they would like to have. It doesn't hurt them, but they're having a hard time scoring goals.
And if there's one area that Owen Sound has struggled in this year, John, it's been while killing penalties. They're ranked just 17th in the league in that category. And Spear works it Heisey towards Crombeen and Hutham. That was blocked in front of the net by Igor Kingalski, the youngster from Kiev in the Ukraine. Spear slides it neatly. Heisey finds Lucas Balf. Balf back to Heisey. He fanned, and then Spear on the backhander from a tough angle missed the net. Nice pressure by the Colts in this first power play. Heisey and Balf. They move it around nicely. Heisey towards the front of the net, hit a stick, and it belongs to Kingalski. And he'll move to center before shooting it on Lacoste.
Couple good chances for Barrie in the crease area. Just couldn't finish on the puck. They're moving the puck around very well. I don't see where they're weak right now. They're having a hard time finishing, obviously with that wide open net they missed.
Out comes Hunter Tremblay, Bryan Little, and Ryan Hamilton. Todd Perry pinching down to hold it in. And it's gloved ahead, and the faceoff will come outside the Owen Sound blue line.
Daniel Spear off to the side of the net, has a wide open net. He's on his backhand, and this is where it creates a problem. Crombie is out front. Spear doesn't take one step towards the goal line to give himself a little better angle, just shoots it across the crease area. He can't put it in.
One of those situations I don't think he realized he had that extra half second.
Well, that's the difference between an offensive player and a defensive player. He's more of a checking role player, but he's got to learn to take that little extra step when he has the room.
Despite the fact that he's put up career numbers this year, Spear with 32 points on the season. Perry in behind the net, started the year at Boston College. Hunter Tremblay in hot pursuit of the puck. Marshall waiting for his teammates to get onside as the penalty to Sanguinetti has expired. The Attack are able to kill off Barrie's power play opportunity, but the Colts did move it around nicely as the puck deflects out of play. Mike Brown has been busy, but so far, he's been perfect. We're excited because next Wednesday we'll be at the Harry Lumley Bayshore Center for the OHL All-Star Game at Owen Sound, and several members of tonight's teams will make their way. Richardson, Ruzicka. Unfortunately, I don't think there's any way Bobby Ryan's going to play. Heisey and Little will represent the Barrie Colts and the Eastern Conference Stars, and Stefan Ruzicka, third-round draft pick of the Philadelphia Flyers in 2003, enjoying another stellar season. Will be there, and you know the hometown crowd will look forward to that. Leo Peckham, the rookie, plays it deep into the zone. Ruzicka on the ice with Jarrett. And Jonathan Lehan, who takes a run at his man, Chad Robinson. Sekera clears it in. Hotham in behind his man, playing on the wing for Robinson, chips it, not out. Jarrett holds it in towards Ruzicka. Big Snake parked in front of the net, and it's blocked in front. Sekera taps it into the Barrie bench.
Well, Robin Big Snake really making his presence felt on this shift. Two big hits along the boards coming in, finishing his check on Chad Robinson. And then two Owen Sound players come in, Ruzicka and Big Snake again coming in on Hotham, taking their man. Very important for them to play physical. This forward core, when they're playing in the offensive end of the rink, are very, very effective. It's key because they do have a young defensive core to keep their game in the offensive end.
Archer's pass broken up to the blue line by Sanguinetti, the 16-year-old defenseman. Nicholas Pleskino plays a rink wide towards Travis Fuller. Played nearly 8 minutes of the opening period. 5-3 shots on goal, the advantage in favor of the Colts, who have enjoyed the game's lone power play. Fuller with Jordan Shine and Andrew Marshall, normally a defenseman, but tonight playing up front as a centerman. Delayed offside coming up. The linesman let Dingolski move it out of his own zone. On the ice with Hanley and Jonathan Lehan, who makes his way to the bench. Rob Heisey backhands it in, acquired on December 1st in a deal for the Erie Otters. 96 points last season. 57 this for Heisey, the 20-year-old veteran. Trevor Kaverko in his own zone. Another rookie defender on this Owen Sound Attack blue line. With a veteran, Paul Bisonet takes a bump from Dan Spear. Heisey shoveling at it and runs into Brad Richardson. Nice right wing pass and Ruzicka. His weak shot, no trouble for the netminder LaCosta. B.J. Crombie, the Barrie captain, will find Heisey, rink wide Heisey towards Spear, who tried to cut in between the defenders. Beaten less, run over by Crombie. Nice work by the captain towards the front of the net. And gobbled away by Matt Smith. Nice pass, Richardson. 2-on-1 with List. What a move, Richardson! He scores! Brad Richardson, what a move! What a finish!
Terrific one-on-one ability by Richardson. Shows tremendous patience. A good breakout pass is very key from a defenseman. Matt Smith gets the puck up, nicely chips it off the board. A good, smart play, but this is where the skill comes in of Richardson. Lets Root slide by on the play. Hotham slide by on the play. Richardson makes a beautiful move. Knows that he has a guy going to the net, uses him as a decoy, slides it into the short side.
Richardson's 29th of the year and his 4th of the season in 5 games versus the Barrie Colts, showing you why he is the number 3 scorer in the Ontario Hockey League, this 5th-round draft pick of the Colorado Avalanche.
I don't think I've ever seen Richardson play a bad game. Every time he's on the ice, he's either making a terrific pass or a great individual effort. I mean, Mike Stothers has compared him a little bit to the same type of skills as a guy like Joe Sakic in the same organization with the Colorado Avalanche.
Matt Smith and 16-year-old Peyton Lisk draw the assist on the Richardson goal at 9:27 to open the scoring. The attack continue to be physical deep inside Barrie territory. Bryan Little suffered an injury in a game versus Mississauga, and he's back in action tonight. Jarrett snaps it on target, and it's cleared out of harm's way by the veteran defenseman Hotham. A great outlet pass for Little, and Little fell down. He had gotten himself in behind the Owen Sound defenders.
What a great pass by Hotham to see him breaking away. Little could have been all by himself.
Fine pass indeed. Kersakis shovels it into his zone and gives chase as Owen Sound making wholesale changes. Hunter Tremblay runs into Sanguinetti. Now Barrie changing as it's offside at the line. Brad Richardson, some kind of goal to open the score. The Ontario Hockey League's Player of the Month in December has the Owen Sound Attack in front 1-0 on his 29th of the year.
Shows tremendous patience, letting the D-man slide by, taking the puck to the middle of the ice. These are simple things it would seem. He makes it look so easy, but the patience that he shows to make the room for himself, what a beautiful goal.
A beauty indeed. Richardson enjoyed a 13-game point-scoring streak during the month of December, enabling him to receive that honor. Derek Brochu, Igor Bukowski flips it high in on the netminder, and LaCosta takes care of it.
Now let's take a look at Richardson, how he fares in the Ontario Hockey League. 29 goals, ranked 3rd, points 65, 12 power play goals. The big number here, 8 game-winning goals, tied for number 1 overall in the league with Dylan Hunter of the London Knights. This guy's doing it all.
And has a couple of game winners already this season versus the Barrie Colts. One of those in overtime back on September 30th in a 4-3 triumph. And Richardson on the ice again with Giles and Ruzicka, applying more pressure. He is an impressive player. As a matter of fact, John, I would hasten to say that had he not suffered that season-ending shoulder injury last year, he might have received more attention in terms of having a shot at making Canada's national junior team this year.
Well, I would agree with it. He only played 15 games because he had shoulder surgery, missed basically the whole season last year. The year before, he had over 60 points as well. People knew that he could score goals, but after you have that such a long layoff from an injury, he's on a mission this year to come back, prove to everybody how good of a player is. He showed it to everyone. I think most importantly, proving it to himself and the Colorado Avalanche franchise.
Well, the last time we watched him in this building was November 26th. In the first game for the OHL Stars against the Russians, and I'm not so sure he wasn't the best player on the ice in this building that night as well. Ruzicka, a couple of tries, blocked on a couple of occasions by defenseman Andrew Dennis. Hotham, the son of former NHLer Greg Hotham. Crombie steers it towards Danny Spear. Spear on the ice with Heisey and Crombie robbed from close range by Mike Brown. There's the game's best save in the opening frame.
And this is where B.J. Crombie excels for the Barrie Colts. In the crease area in front of the net, he's a big player, not afraid to get into scoring areas with a quick wrist shot and get it away very quickly. A perfect example, there's traffic all around him, 3 men on him, still has the ability to shoot the puck very quickly.
And more good bloodlines Just mentioned Hotham, and you saw the graphic showing you that Crombeen is the son of Mike Crombeen, the former National Hockey Leaguer on several NHL clubs. And BJ Crombeen has goals in his last 3 games and nearly extended that streak to 4. Patrick Jarrett trying to burst through the defense. He's upended by Lucas Balf, and that will produce the first power play of the game for the visiting team.
And this is just a smart play by Jarrett, busting through the seam, trying to get to the net to draw the defenders to him. And he feels that he's got 2 sticks on him, takes a little bit of a dive, goes down to the ice. Lucas Balf, a big, solid player, but Jarrett wisely sees that he's being held up in the play, draws the referee's attention, called for hooking, power play opportunity for Owen Sound.
And Marty Williamson finds his team shorthanded, trailing 1-0 on the Brad Richardson goal. And he's back out with Giles Ruzicka, Sanguinetti on the Owen Sound power play, along with Jonathan Lehunt. Richardson parked in the high slot, and will tap it Sanguinetti. Pretty impressive when you're 16 and help to anchor a power play, as this young American Sanguinetti is doing.
Owen Sound has 4 rookies playing defense for this team. They brought in a couple key guys, Bissonnette and Lamb, to provide some veteran leadership, but these young guys had to play early in the season, and it's rewarded for them now because it's paying off. They've matured, playing late in the season on key situations.
Mike Brown, who many feel is the best goaltender in the Ontario Hockey League, and has been very sharp in the first period tonight. Ruzicka runs into Heisey and Aaron Lewicki as the puck is scooped into the Barrie zone. Lehunt battling along with Richardson, Robin Bigsnick, Sanguinetti, Ruzicka trying to maneuver his way past Crombeen, failed to do so. A minute to go in the power play. It'll come outside the zone, and Crombeen in hot pursuit nearly made his way past Sanguinetti at the line. Jonathan Lehunt, a 6th-round draft pick in 2003 of the St. Louis Blues. Bigsnick digging after it with Michael Root. Here's Andre Sekera moving into the play. Cross ice. The shot redirected. Went right through the blue paint. Kurzakis down low. Kurzakis to the line and Sekera. Cross ice and Sanguinetti. For Sekera, one-timer that hit and was blocked by Heisey, but he fails to chop it out of his own territory. Now another opportunity for the 20-year-old, and fails to clear it again. Jarrett cross ice, and now Heisey will send it to center.
Twice Rob Heisey has had himself in perfect position, killing this penalty to block a shot and to take away a pass to the crease.
The penalty to Balf has expired, and he nearly got free coming out of the penalty box. Runs into Sekera. Here's Hunter Tremblay. Tremblay in front, scores! Perfect redirection in front. And we're tied at 1, and guess who is around the net?
Great pursuit by both coming from the penalty box. Hunter Tremblay is also following up on the play. 2 guys on 1. Outman in the corner. Scott Hotham, a defenseman jumping up on the play, is rewarded. He puts himself in good position. Out positions his man out front. There's 3 black sweaters in front trying to cover him. No chance. Good hard work to get the puck. Good pass to the slot.
Bryan Little back in the lineup after missing 4 games. And he's had some great games in his first 2 years in this league against Owen Sound, including a 4-goal game that we witnessed in this building last season. And he, on his 20th of the year, has tied this game at 1. Ryan Hamilton loses the handle as Little answers the goal by Richardson. Goal scorers just know how to find those openings, don't they?
They have a nose. They know where to position themselves. It's very key to know where to go, get in the openings. Luc Robitaille was so natural at finding openings in front of the net.
Well, and he was lucky. That's his nickname. Yes. When you score that many times, this just in, you're not that lucky. You're pretty good. And this game's off to a pretty good beginning. Richardson buzzing around again. Brad Richardson, oh, what a move that was. Ruzicka. And the glove save by LaCosta. Great action at both ends of the rink, and Bryan Little has drawn the Colts even. The National Lacrosse League returns to Rogers Sportsnet. Rochester, the Nighthawks, and the Rock. Tomorrow, 7:30, Rob Falk, Brian Shanahan, and Clubber. Jim Lang will bring you all the action from the Air Canada Centre. Look forward to that one. Great action in that building, great action in this one. Richardson opened the scoring for Owen Sound with his 29th. Bryan Little responds with his 20th of the season in his first game back from an upper body injury. That even makes its way into the junior ranks, the terminology. From Balfin Tremblay at 14:54. We expected a tight one, and so far we've received just that. Richardson has been far and away the best player in this game and nearly pots number 2. On the ice with Peyton Lesk and Stefan Ruzicka. Richardson's been a handle on every shift, hasn't he, John?
And they have Aaron Lewicki out against him. He's a very tough defensive centerman. One guy that can try to handle Richardson in that situation.
Chad Robinson works one-on-one with Paul Bisonet. Bisonet knocks him to the ice. Chris Morrison in to help out. Morrison tied up by Sanguinetti. Chad Robinson trying to move away from the defender. And it's Richardson who knocks him down to hook up with Ruzicka, and stapled to him is Lewicki. And a face-off will come up deep in the Owen Sound zone.
Well, Peter, on that last goal by Bryan Little, I had called Scott Hotham for scoring the goal. He had himself positioned in the slot area, taking some traffic away, but Little jumps up so quickly and gets himself into the opening, gets a quick shot away, and a beautiful goal for his 20th goal of the season. Obviously, that upper body injury is not hampering him, but missing that 4 games, he still has his speed, and he's very quick.
An impressive young player who's not even eligible for the draft, referring to Bryan Little, until 2006.
Patrick Jarrett, another veteran on this team for Owen Sound, who provides a lot of offense. He has a lot to prove for himself. He's an overage player, first overall drafted by the Mississauga Ice Dogs. Really hasn't had the career that he would have liked, but he wants to be a pro, and he's trying to prove himself to the scouts.
And is a free agent right now too, John, after 2 years ago being selected in the 5th round by the Nashville Predators, but did not sign with the Predators, so he's back in the free agent pool.
And he's had some rough going. He's had a broken leg at one point, some tough injuries that he's had to overcome. He had a trade from Mississauga, really had a rough time playing there, but he is really excelling here in Owen Sound.
Coming up in our first period intermission, we'll check in at the Sportsnet News studios, and we'll feature 20-year-old winger Robin Bigsnake, a product of the Siksika Nation Reserve in Alberta. What an addition he's been. 19 goals since joining the team early in October, being waived right through the Western Hockey League, a former member of the Portland Winterhawks. And they love him in Owen Sound. Spear on the ice with Crombeen and Heisey for the Colts. Hanley, Gandolski, and Jonathan Leon, the forward trio for Owen Sound. As Spear in hot pursuit versus Sanguinetti, who's had a ton of ice time in this opening frame. Spear wins the battle. Perry lets it go, and no trouble for Mike Brown.
Terrific work by Spear. He's had a terrific series against this Owen Sound team. In the 4 games that he's played in, he has 4 points, but his assets are his leadership and hard work along the boards. For him to be effective, he needs to play strong along the boards. He's going to be a valuable member for this team in the playoff run.
Claimed from Sudbury back in November of 2002 from the Wolves, and has certainly found a home here in Barrie. 218 career games. Ball through a partial screen, and Brown with some good work to kick it up. Patrick Jarrett, 51 points, nice pass. Kurzakis, a hard drive, missed on the short side as Little attempts to chip it out of the zone. Grabbed by the glove and whistled down by referee Ryan Carroll, and a faceoff will come outside the line.
I can understand why this team is so effective offensively. Owen Sound players move the puck so crisply. Jarrett draws his man towards the middle of the ice. Brazakis coming down the wing, finds him on the opening, takes a big shot, misses the net. He hits that net. There's a good opportunity. Patrick Jarrett is a very smart player.
Andrew Dennis swings it for Hunter Tremblay. Tremblay picking up an assist on the goal by Bryan Little and just failed to hook up with him again.
Hunter Tremblay and Bryan Little are very effective working together. Little is very good with the puck, but Tremblay is a guy who's terrific in the corners. Coming out from the corners with the puck, working along the boards. Little not a big player, but Tremblay plays big along the boards and helps out in that area.
Tremblay with 43 points already this season. He had 27 all of last. The 19-year-old from Timmins, who just turned 19 on January the 15th. Spears slides it. Great pass for Crombeen, who works one-on-one with Kyle Lamb. Blocked to the boards by Brown. Crombeen playing with a lot of confidence, a second-round pick for the Dallas Stars in 2003. Scott Jobs runs into Dan Spear. Good play for Richardson. Buzicka to the front of the net. There's that little delay move by Richardson, and this time it failed to work. And a penalty coming up behind the play, and this one's going to go to the attack.
It's a high sticking call. Kyle Lamb going to the box for high sticking. Brad Richardson so quick to get on the puck, creating a lot of havoc in the offensive end of the ice. This is a good break for Barrie. They were getting a little bit too much coming against them, but Kyle Lamb in the middle of the screen gets a stick up high, trying to get up on the shoulder of Rob Heisey to slow him down a little bit.
Last minute of play in the opening period, and a second power play opportunity for the Colts, looking to take their first lead. With Lamb in the penalty box, he was a deadline day deal coming over in a trade for Kevin Baker. Baker making his way to Sudbury. Bryan Little stopped up by Jonathan Leahun, and Matt Smith will send it the distance. Maybe one last rush for the Colts to end the period. Lucas Balf with an assist in the contest. In behind Ryan Hamilton, Richardson scoops it out, and that'll do it.
Well,
opening
Peter,
20 minutes, and pretty good 20 minutes too.
Both of these teams came out with a lot of energy. They've had 3 days rest from the weekend's activities. No games this week. I prepared. They're very fresh, and both teams came out very even period. 1-1 after 1. 11-8 are the shots. Exciting hockey.
Good pace, lots of good physical play, and some good saves as well. Richardson and Little, the goal scorers in a 1-1 tie.
1-1, Owen Sound and Barrie tied after one period. The OHL and Rogers Sportsnet, Gord, Stellick alongside myself, Brad Fay, to talk about what's going on with the NHL lockout situation. They are in New York meeting the small group. An offer has been tabled to the players. What is in that offer as far as you know, Gord?
Well, the offer the players received tonight, and basically it's the whole blend of a hard cap, soft cap. So, I mean, there is some give, some wiggle room that the owners have provided the NHL Players Association. There's certain levels they get up to when the cap is hard. There's other levels that there's a mixed luxury tax in. So really, you look at it one way. The owner's got to have to find out hard cap. Is it enough to satisfy the players? That's going to be a big question.
You have been optimistic throughout this process. Is that extended for you now or increased in the last 24 hours?
Well, we're going to find out if I'm naive or not. I think the key, though, Brad's going to be tomorrow afternoon. If they're still talking tomorrow afternoon, then that's the key. It's kind of like fishing. If they're not, if they cut bait, say forget it, back to the drawing board, well, that could be the end of the season. If it's like you got a bite, you got something the players think they can finagle a bit, they may come back with something else. So I think that's a big thing. If we're talking about it at the same time tomorrow night, then my optimism's increased.
And crunching the numbers, what kind of schedule, regular season schedule, would we be looking at?
Well, there's been talk about 30 games, but I still think 28's the one that makes the most sense, that you be within your conference and play everyone one-on-one home away. I think that's about as low as you can go, and that makes the most sense.
Yeah, well, it sure is a lot more optimistic than it was just under a week ago. We'll have more tonight on the Sportsnet News. Gord will be joined by his cohorts on the panel, along with Darren Dreger, talking about what transpired when it's all said and done in New York City. Bob Hope Classic second round highlights on the way, and we'll talk about the Toronto Raptors' defeat at the hands of the Miami Heat one night ago here coast to coast on Sportsnet. Bryan Little with a goal to tie it at 1. Owen Sound and Barrie deadlocked through 20 minutes second period action coming up in a moment.
Next Wednesday from Owen Sound, the Stars of the Western Conference versus the Stars from the Eastern Conference. It's the OHL All-Star Game, and we'll have it all for you right here on Rogers Sportsnet. Robin Big Snake's travels to Owen Sound have been quite interesting. He spent almost 3 full seasons in the Western Hockey League in the likes of Moose Jaw, Vancouver, and Portland. But boy, oh boy, has this 20-year-old winger found himself quite a home as a member of the Attack.
My first OHL game, I had a goal, assist, and a fight. It was good to set the standard. Like my type of player. Coach told the guys, they played London the night before, and told the guys that I could hit. I'm gonna put pucks in the net, and I fight, and it was good. My first game, I got all of them out of the way, you know.
It was love at first sight for Owen Sound fans when Robin Big Snake took to the ice after that first game. The start of a relationship that he has nurtured throughout the season.
It's going good so far, and knock on wood, I don't want to jinx myself or anything, but you know, and with a name like Big Snake, you kind of stand out in the crowd. So, you know, I'm thankful for my last name and proud of it, and this is my style of game. I think they kind of like.
For Attack coach Mike Stothers, it was an easy fit inserting the burly left winger into the lineup when he arrived last fall.
He came in and accepted his role readily, and he wants to know who the opposition's tough guys are. He wants to make sure that the game is honest, and he can play it any way you want. So he's a guy that we've been able to utilize with some of our higher-end skilled players, and he certainly doesn't look out of place. He skates well, he shoots well, and he handles the puck well.
Big Snake's performance on the ice has equally impressed teammate Patrick Jarrett, but he likes to point out that many people overlook Big Snake's abilities away from the playing surface.
Off the ice, he's brought a lot of leadership. It's underlooked of what he brings to the team in the dressing room. You know, Robin's he's a big guy, and a lot of the guys look up to him. You know, and I think the young guys really appreciate the help he's brought to us. And you know, definitely on the ice, he's chipping in with a lot of goals. He's definitely, you know, putting up the points, and you know, his penalty minutes are right there to follow. You know, and coach always bugs him about scoring goals, but you know, if he doesn't keep fighting, he's not going to score the goals. So I think he's going to keep fighting and keep scoring, because he's definitely done a great job so far.
He is so popular in Owen Sound that it even spawned a Big Snake night earlier this season. The evening was topped off appropriately when Robin scored a goal on a penalty shot. Big Snake knows that a lot of kids are looking up to him when he takes to the ice, and feels it's important to be a good role model.
I always said that I was going to talk to every kid that came up to me, and I was going to sign any autograph that a kid asked, and I still do to this day. I try to high five all the kids as I'm going out to the ice, and you know, it's a good feeling, and for them to look up to me is the best feeling that I could have.
Although he is undrafted, he's not gone unnoticed by the NHL. He attended a Rangers prospect camp in Calgary as a walk-on last summer and earned a tryout with their AHL team in Hartford. Ranger coach and VP of Player Development Tom Rennie was impressed.
I actually sat down and talked with the coach of the New York Rangers, Tom Rennie, and he told me that the exact same things as the other guys said was I would be in Hartford if it wasn't for the lockout, and you know, it did give me something to shoot forward to.
Robin Big Snake, what an impact he's made in Owen Sound, and has continued to do that here tonight. Play of the first period brought to you by Easton Sports, where players actually have a choice. They overwhelmingly choose Easton.
Beautiful pass by Matt Smith from the defensive end of the ice. Owen Sound's first goal. A nice bounce pass off the boards. Richardson down the ice. Little stutter step up to the middle of the ice. Scores on the shorthand side. Richardson's 29th goal of the season. After one period of play, it's 1-1. We'll be right back for the second.
The Ontario Hockey League on Rogers Sportsnet. Brought to you by ADT. Always there.
About set for the start of the second period, but a quick look back at what was a very entertaining opening 20 minutes of play.
2 goals scored in the first period. Owen Sound got on the board first. A nice play by Brad Richardson breaking up the ice and one-on-one move. Scores his 29th of the year. And Bryan Little getting into the act after sitting out for 4 games, comes back in style, scoring a big goal, his 20th of the season. A nice pass from Hunter Tremblay.
Richardson's 4th of the year versus Barrie. Little's 3rd of the year versus the Owen Sound Attack. 11-8 shots on goal. And the Colts will open this second period on the power play. 1 minute and 17 seconds remaining in a penalty to Kyle Lamb, the former Sudbury Wolf. And Lamb was a member of Team Ontario in the 2004 Under-17 Challenge that won a gold medal. As a matter of fact, he scored 2 goals in the gold medal game in a 5-2 victory over Team Pacific in St. John's, Newfoundland. Second period underway. BJ Crombeen, 21 goals on the season.
Now this is where his forte is. Those 7 goals are on the power play. We'll look for him to put himself in the slot area with that quick wrist shot. Rob Heisey's good out of the corner, getting them puck to him.
Crombeen, 2 years in a row, a participant in the Canada-Russia Challenge. And was invited to Canada's national junior team summer evaluation camp in Calgary, was not invited back for the big camp in December. Hotham, Scott Hotham for Lucas Bolf. Banks it in. Mike Brown plays it off the glass. Bolf, nice work to hold it in. The Heisey spear, Crombeen, Bolf, and the Hotham on the Barrie power play. Heisey to the blue line and Bolf. Bolf makes pass, down low, scores! Scott Hotham in good position, and Barrie takes a 2-1 lead.
Good puck movement around the perimeter really sets things up here. BJ Crombeen's drawing all kinds of attention in front of the net as defender Smith is trying to keep on him, and that gives Hotham a chance to slide down to the back door, gives him a little extra room to slide into the middle of the ice and to get a good clear shot on net. Good work by the Barrie Colts using the perimeter of the ice, traffic in front of the net. Nice goal by Hotham, a defenseman jumping up in the play.
Hotham's 4th goal of the season and his 1st of the year versus Owen Sound. Barrie rebounds from a 1-0 deficit to take their first lead of the contest, looking for their first win of the season in 5 tries against the Attack. Nicholas Plastino brings it on the boards. And now we'll chase back deep in his own zone 4. Missed 27 games following a skin laceration and some nerve damage that he picked up in a game this season, wearing number 8 for Barrie. Lewicki pokes at it, Ruzicka in the slot. Ran into Michael Root. Chad Robinson, Aaron Lewicki, and Chris Morrison, the forward line on the ice for Barrie. And anytime you see those 3, you'll probably see Brad Richardson. What a move by Richardson. Snaps the shot. It's in behind. Scores! LaCosta couldn't find it. Richardson did, and he has 2.
Well, this is just a fantastic wrist shot by Richardson. This is a big league shot. We talked about the comparison to Joe Sakic earlier. This is something Joe Sakic would do. A good one-on move, and the release. LaCosta has no idea where it is, but Richardson's second effort was his key. Nobody picks him up after the shot close enough, and he makes that great second effort, outworks his man, getting to the net. Plastino has a long shift and gets beat to the puck in front.
Richardson with a quick answer to the go-ahead goal by Hotham on the power play from Bolf and Heisey in 45 seconds. Made it 2-1. And Richardson with his 2nd of the night and 30th of the year comes right back less than a minute later to even the contest, this time at 2. He is putting on some kind of show. Jarrett runs into Perry at the line.
Perry's having a tough time. He tried to step a guy up at center ice and try to stop Jarrett. He's having a hard time staying on his feet.
Last time we watched these two teams in a game in this building last year, Bryan Little had 4 goals. Maybe Richardson's on his way to having that same kind of night.
Well, if anybody can do it, Brad Richardson can. He's just been fantastic. The best player on the ice by far in this first part of this game. No question about it in my mind. Nice goal by Barrie on the power play. Scott Hotham jumps down. And then Richardson comes back quickly, 15 seconds apart. Richardson comes down with that quick wrist shot, the second effort. Lacoste has no idea where the puck is. A beautiful second effort.
Hotham's 4th on the power play at 45 seconds from Golf and Heisey. Richardson 56 seconds later unassisted at 1:41. In a 2-2 tie. Andrew Dennis in quite a tussle with Igor Gongolski. As they finally play the puck loose, now it's underneath Gongolski, and there's going to be a penalty coming up to the Colts as Gongolski was knocked to the ice.
Well, Andrew Dennis did hit Gongolski to the ice from behind. A cross-checking call is what is being called. Dennis going to the penalty box. Good hard work along the boards. There's the cross-check. And all of a sudden, Owen Sound ties the game, and then they're on the power play.
The league's 4th best power play will go back to work. Williamson, as in Marty, looks on, hoping his team can kill it off. Richardson, Ruzicka, Jarrett, Lee Hun, and Sanguinetti on the power play for Owen Sound. Heisey Krameen up front looking to kill it off along with Root and Lucas Balf. Balf, the Czech Republic national junior team member, has a pair of assists in the game. Heisey steals the puck from Jonathan Lehan, creating some havoc. Richardson, his pass was supposed to go rink wide for Jarrett. It hit Ruzicka in the ankle, and that hurt him. Balf just didn't get there in time, according to the linesman, as he blows it down on the offside.
Well, Ruzicka off to the bench. A real simple play, just coming to the neutral zone. Richard trying to make a cross-ice pass, hits Ruzicka on the ankle just inside. Now that's a spot where there's not a lot of padding. You get hit on the ankle right in that area of the leg. That can be very painful. I'm sure he'll be back though. He just needs to skate it off.
Hopefully he can shake that off. The last thing this Owen Sound team needs right now is another injury to a key performer, with Bobby Ryan already out of the lineup for a considerable amount of time with a shoulder injury. Jonathan Lehan races in after the loose puck and wins the race. Patrick Jarrett finds it. Andrei Sekera. Jarrett and Lehan. Sekera, nice move of the blue line, cuts across laterally, the redirection, scores! Patrick Jarrett on the doorstep, bangs home his 16th of the year, and it's 3-2 Owen Sound.
Sekera makes things happen. He brings the puck off the wall as a defenseman, gets to the middle of the ice, doesn't take a big wind-up, sees that he has players converging. Patrick Jarrett will come out of the right-hand corner, jump on the rebound. Nobody looks behind him to pick him up. Hotham doesn't see Jarrett down deep in the corner. Just a well-executed play by a defenseman, getting the puck to the net, creating a rebound opportunity, keeping the puck low, and Jarrett very opportunistic on that goal with his 16th of the season.
Jarrett on the power play as both teams have connected in this period with a man-power advantage. For Patrick Jarrett, that's his 2nd of the year against the Barrie Colts. And 3-2 now the advantage for the road team. Owen Sound looking for their 14th road victory of the year in a building that's been very difficult for visitors to win in. Barrie's lost just 5 times in this building. They're 14, 5-0-2. And a long way to go in this one, with goals coming fast and furious in the second frame. Gongolski from the sharp angle misses the target. And Sekera will chase the puck back in his own zone. He draws an assist along with Jonathan Lehan, and the Patrick Jarrett goal is 16th of the year on the power play at 4:10. So 3 goals in the first 4:10 of this second frame. Kaverko on left wing to Gingalski. His pass hit Hunter Tremblay, and Kaverko carries on. Ryan Hamilton greeted by Giles, and Perry missing Bryan Little at center, and it turns into an icing call.
Well, Peter, for Barrie, this second period has not been good for them this season. They basically fell asleep in the second, outscored 54-40 in the second period. They've had good first periods, good strong start. The middle frame is where they have to stay mentally tough, and they haven't been able to do that all season long. They have to jump back on already. 2 goals scored against them in this second.
Lucas Balf, a lot of ice time in the back end, along with his partner, Michael Root. The pass, hopped over the skate and stick of Balf. Ruzicka back on the ice, so that's good news for the attack. After taking the puck off the ankle, courtesy of Brad Richardson, who leads the attack with a pair of goals. And here he comes. Just had the puck hop off the stick. He was in full flight. Dangerous pass. Blisk chips it, not out of the zone. The hard-working Dan Spear holds it in. Out there again with Crombeen and Heisey. They've been Barrie's best line so far. Spear at the line towards Heisey. Dan Spear to the line, and Michael Root. Root a shot off the stick of Heisey, wide of the net on the redirect. Balf misses Heisey. Here's Spear one more time. Colts with the pressure on, looking for the equalizer. Kyle Lamb tied up by Crombeen and then flipped by Ruzicka out of the zone. Owen Sound making changes as it's kicked off the skate of Heisey right to goaltender Mike Brown.
Nobody wants the puck, they're throwing it end to end.
Here's Jarrett. Jarrett with the go-ahead goal, but this time is wrist shot stopped by Dan LaCosta. Hotham opened the scoring in the period before Richardson and Jarrett went to work for the attack. Canadian Open Grand Slam of Curling will have the semifinal and the championship affair coming your way from Winnipeg, Manitoba on Sunday. And all the games, Top Guns will be throwing rocks in one of curling's finest cities, Winnipeg. 3-2 Owen Sound in front. Richardson in. Jarrett, the goals is Robin Big Snake. Absolutely robbed at the doorstep by Dan LaCosta. Terrific save by the former Owen Sound Attack. Marshall wants a face-off, so does Dennis. Pro shoe. Jarrett, Big Snake working diligently. Big Snake going to the front of the net looking for a pass. Pinching in. Playing it in front of the net was Sequeira's. Big Snake in the interception. Misses Jarrett with a pass. Scott Hotham, nice work to get away from the attacker and make a fine outlet pass. Travis Fuller to the net, the one-hander stopped by Brown on the short side. Theo Peckham knocks Fuller to the ice. Marshall on the ice with Jordan Shine and Travis Fuller. Marshall to the line and Plastino, ouch. That hit Big Snake and it hurt him as he limps off to the bench. Fuller misses Chad Robinson to the line and Brown will scoop it into the neutral zone. Patrick Jarrett finds Igor Gingalski. Gingalski shot hit Todd Perry, the big 6'3", 210-pound blue liner. Gingalski towards the front of the net is working on the boards. Is Cullen Henley. Lehan and Gingalski join him. Another hard-working shift for the attack. Tough play with Lewicki on the end boards. And Lehan involved in quite a battle. Now Gingalski and Plastino. Boy, there's a working boot shift if I've ever seen one.
They've got their work boots on earlier on in this period. A nice play by defenseman Sekera, jumping up off the face-off and creating an opportunity. He'll take the puck wide, go all the way around the net. Nobody picks up Robin Big Snake on the back door coming in. LaCosta with that big left pad coming across. If Big Snake gets it up over top of that pad, he has a goal, but a big save by LaCosta.
Big Snake, it would have been number 20 on the year. Sanguinetti holds it in at the line, loose in the goal crease area, and LaCosta very, very fortunate to keep that from finding its way across the red line.
Van LaCosta is having a hard time seeing the puck and grabbing it. A nice shot by Sanguinetti to get it to the net. LaCosta doesn't realize that the puck is sitting in behind him. He makes the stop, he's looking down, he thinks that he has it trapped. Nobody talking to him to let him know so he can react to pick up the puck from behind him.
Jonathan Lehan just failing to tap it into the empty net. Ruzichka and Sanguinetti. Giles towards Richardson. Sanguinetti this time fails to hold it in. Paul Pisanet. Richardson snaps it at the goal, and LaCosta was in good position to make the save. Tremblay, nice pass for Ryan Hamilton. Hamilton, a wrister, but it's deflected by Sanguinetti out of play.
Now Ryan Hamilton is a big power forward for this Barrie team. 6'2", 218 pounds. He's 31 games with mono. He's played 10, but he's still adjusted. His timing is still off a little bit. Nice play stepping over the blue line, trying to get his shot on net. But it's such an adjustment after missing so much of the season. It's so hard to get up to the tempo. These kids are in top shape right now. He still has that adjustment to make.
Showed a good burst there. Crombeen, he rifles the snapshot off the crossbar. You cannot hit the crossbar any harder than B.J. Crombeen just did. Wow, did he get a lot on that. An inch away from tying the game at 3. Matt Smith for Trevor Kaverka. Michael Root pinching down on Robin Big Snake. Heisey helps out with Crombeen. Hamming the attack in their zone as Big Snake attempting to hold it, and he got an elbow up on Root that went undetected. And Big Snake looks like he wants to get involved. And we'll have penalties. And we'll sort it out when we return. Captain B.J. Crombeen still thinking about this opportunity during the television timeout. You can bet on it.
Right off the face-off, this wrist shot. Brown cannot react in time. The puck is shot so hard off the draw. Talking to Marty Williamson about B.J. Crombeen, asking him, what is his best asset? You see him every day, and he says his wrist shot is incredible.
Well, he showed us evidence why. Robin Big Snake for roughing Michael Root for holding the stick. A little 4-on-4 as we played just over 10 minutes of the second period. Rob Heisey, and he likes this 4-on-4 situation with a little extra room, and here he comes. Nice move, sweeps it, and Brown with a good save off Heisey from close range. Crombeen will carry it back into neutral ice. B.J. Crombeen so close to his 22nd of the year. Andre Sekera made a nice play earlier in this period to Robin Big Snake, and now he'll shovel it in. Brad Richardson after it again. He has 2 goals already. Look at Richardson. What a clinic he's putting on. He's in it. Deflected. Goes over top of the net. Jarrett and Richardson, the forwards for Owen Sound. Nice pass to Travis Fuller. Fuller with half a step. Fuller backhander, and Brown with a trapper snaps it out of midair.
Well, a nice pass from the defensive end of the ice to see Fuller breaking up his wing on the right-hand side. Unfortunately, he's on his backhand. And a good job by the defender, keeping him to the outside, not giving a lot of room. Trying to go upstairs. Big goaltender Brown does not give him any room. He's such a big goaltender, covers a lot of net.
That was a pretty good shot from Plastino that hit the side of the cage. Another face-off play for Barrie that results in a near miss. Tremblay. Hunter Tremblay with Bryan Little. Lucas Ball blocked up by Patrick Jarrett, who has the go-ahead goal for Owen Sound in the second period. Jarrett drops it off for Paul Bisonet, the fourth-round pick of the Pittsburgh Penguins in 2003. Ball flips it to neutral zone, stepping up to Sanguinetti. Plastino fell down. Sanguinetti, but there's an excellent recovery by Plastino. Nice defensive play. Plastino with a loose puck. Looking for Little and heads him. Bryan Little on the breakaway. He scores. Little second of the night, and we're even again.
Nicholas Plastino's playing his first game back since the laceration. He missed 27 games, and a beautiful pass from the defensive end of the rink, seeing Bryan Little through the neutral zone. Beautifully, Little is onside and a great pickup. Bryan Little does not miss opportunities. His hands are so quick, he has his head up. Brown comes to the top of the circle, trying to cut down the angle, but a beautiful shot by Little put over the glove.
In his first game back, after missing 4 with an upper body injury, he has his second of the night, 21st of the year, and we're tied again, this time at 3. And just another look at why this 17-year-old is so dangerous around the opponent's net.
This is just such a hard work game. Bryan Little sees that he can take advantage of the defenseman stepping up the ice. The care, not quite keeping an eye on Little. Little, a great finisher.
Bryan Little was second in scoring for Canada's under-18 gold medal winning team last August in the Czech Republic and Slovakia. And do not be the least bit surprised if Bryan Little does not make his way onto Canada's national junior team in the next 2 years. He's that good. Kaverko off the glass and back into Barrie territory. Both teams have found the mark twice in this second period. This has been a good hockey game. Lewicki fakes the shot. Now he spots Robinson going to the net. Robinson spins and it was blocked. And back the other way comes Lehun, and he's got a breakaway. Jonathan Lehun backhanded it over top of the cage. And another look will show us whether LaCosta maybe got a piece.
Well, we talked about Jonathan Lehun before the game, and the one thing that was brought up was his speed. Incredibly, a turnover, a puck block. Lehun blocks a shot and then jumps up in the play. Look at him pull away. Backhand shot, just fires it wide. I can't see LaCosta getting a piece of this one. He does come across nicely, but tremendous speed by Lehun.
Lots and lots of offensive chances, and there's another one. Scott Giles, the hard-working goal as he went to the net and backhands it home. And Owen Sound in this seesaw affair is in front again.
Well, Scott Giles really benefiting playing with Richardson and Ruzicka. Off the face-off, back to the point, holds his man up, then drives hard to the net. Nobody picks him up, and he gets a rebound. So he's doing his job on both parts. Holding up the man to give the defenseman time to shoot the puck, and Giles gets to the net for the rebound.
Scott Giles, 5th of the season, and another quick answer for Owen Sound. As that goal comes 1 minute and 8 seconds after the Bryan Little tying goal, his 21st at 12:13. Then Giles is 5th at 13:21.
Scott Giles getting an opportunity to play. They made a trade. Kevin Baker was left the team. Scott Giles getting a chance to play on the top line and really taking advantage of this opportunity.
For Giles, his first goal since December 17th when he found the net in a game in Kitchener against the Rangers. Giles one-hands it to the front of the net again. Richardson looking for the hat trick. Is it in? Yes, it is. Brad Richardson's 3rd of the night, and it's 5-3.
Hunt. hunt the puck is what this team does really well. Behind the net, down below the goal line. Got Giles, 100, good effort, gets it out front. Richardson jumping on a loose puck. Barrie's defense are having a hard time containing the forwards for this Owen Sound Attack team. And again, squeaking under the goaltender of Lacoste does not know where the puck is. He thinks he has it covered up, and a loose puck lying behind him costs him.
If it is credited to Richardson, and I'm pretty sure it will be, it would be his third goal of the game and his fourth point of the night. It's 2 quick goals by Owen Sound, and now they enjoy the biggest advantage of the game. 2 at 5-3. Andrew Dennis a shot. That's blocked by Jared, trying to scoot away and parry back defensively. You like offense. This has been quite a period. 6 goals in this second frame. Bryan Little has 2 in the contest. He'd like his third as he played it right through the crease. Under Tremblay and Todd Perry. Perry with Hamilton in front of the net. He just failed to get a stick up. Andrew Dennis blocked it, comes, here's Little, snapped it off the stick of Jarrett. And we've had a goaltending change in this game as well. Francis Tuat has replaced Lacoste. Tremblay in front of the net. And Jarrett will send it down the ice. Tuat replacing Lacoste after this youngster gave up 5. McCormick and Millard bring you the next edition of Sportsnet News. They'll keep you posted on what is or what isn't happening with the National Hockey League talk sets tonight at 10, and I'm sure they're entertained by what they've seen so far tonight. Dan Lacoste, the former Owen Sound Attack, not the kind of eve he was hoping for, giving up 5 goals on 22 shots, and replaced by 19-year-old Francois Tuat. Last year, he tended the twine in the Quebec Major Junior League with a Val-d'Or furor. That last goal, by the way, not Richardson's third, is a fight about to break out between Jordan Shine and Theo Peckham. That was interesting. 2 first-year players look to exchange unpleasantries in close quarters. And as this continues, I can tell you that the last goal was credited to Giles, his second of the night. Richardson drawing the assist, so he was not credited with his hat-trick goal, as we might have thought upon first glance. And as we continue to glance upon these 2 customers, finally they go to the ice. Jordan Shine, the 16-year-old rookie, and 17-year-old rookie of Owen Sound, Theo Peckham.
Well, Theo Peckham trying to make a name for himself in this league. Coming into this game, he led his team with 123 penalty minutes, not afraid to drop the gloves. Jordan Shine, a little bit of weight difference, only 180 pounds. Peckham 215. He gave up a little bit, but did pretty well. Both young guys trying to make a name for themselves. Earned a lot of respect from their teammates, trying to stick up for each other.
And in the case of Shine, maybe trying to give his team a little bit of a spark. They had tied the game on Bryan Little's 21st of the year at 12-13 at 3, but then it was Giles' first of 2 from Peckham and Richardson at 13-21, and just 27 seconds later, another goal from Giles. Tough night on our statistician, Scott Carson. Second period's been wild. And still 4:30 left in it. Andrew Marshall and Matt Smith. Here's Travis Fuller. Fuller in like a 3rd and 4th line role has put up some pretty nice numbers. He has 15 goals and 35 points. Number 25 of the Colts. Chris Morrison Tapped off his stick, and Gongolski will carry to center. Drops it for Matt Smith. Smith snaps it. Tuat has some trouble. Gongolski to the net. Jonathan Lehan threw a screen. I don't know how Tuat ever saw that. Gongolski, a backhander. Stopped by Tuat, who's just replaced Dan LaCosta. Defensively, this is not a period Marty Williamson will want to watch closely, and this won't count. Referee Carroll's going to wave it off, saying that it was kicked in.
And a good thing for Barrie. We showed the numbers for Barrie in the second period, how they've had a struggle and had a tough time keeping the puck out of their net and trouble scoring as well. And this shift was just all Owen Sound, putting pressure in the offensive end of the ice. Puck will get back to the point. Men coming out from the corner, and you can see that the foot is redirecting the puck towards the net. It is called no goal because he did kick the puck towards the net.
Mike Stothers not happy because he knows that could have put his opponent in real serious danger.
You can see coming out of the corner, the right-hand side of the screen, he'll look down at his feet, turn his foot to give it a kicking motion towards the net. He's not happy about it. And Derek Brochu feels that he has a goal taken away from him.
Well, and when you have two on the season, you don't like it when they take one away. By the way, another scoring change. Now Richardson, as I first thought, has been given credit for his third of the night and 31st of the year, with Giles and Bizanet scoring. Those two goals 27 seconds apart. Oh. Boy, a guy needs the intermission after this frame. I'm out of gas. Well, that's not true. Somehow I knew that was coming from the truck. More fighting, and it's actually Ruzicka this time with Michael Root, and Ruzicka didn't want any part of that.
Well, Michael Root, tough customer to play against. He's willing to play any style of game. But Ruzicka, good matchup. Ruzicka, tough offensive player who can score some goals. And this is just good physical battling, hard working along the boards. Root takes a shot from Ruzicka, and that's where things get started. Root not going to back down off an opportunity like that, not going to take a punch and not retaliate and create something. His team's down by 2 goals. They don't want to be in the penalty box, but if you can take a good player off the ice, such as Ruzicka, it could be a good thing.
With 3:21 left in the period, I'm guessing both of them will make their way to the dressing room. Michael Root certainly has, and it looks like Root has picked up the extra minor.
This game is brought to you by Via Rail Canada. The renaissance of passenger rail has begun. More trains, faster trains, and better services. Make Via Rail your choice for travel.
Marty Williamson knows that his team not the best on special teams, something that they've been trying to work on the second half of the season. They worked a lot on 5-on-5 situations. They were getting very good at it. You can see 5-on-5, they're pretty strong, but in these special team situations, something they need improvement on. It will be 4-on-4, but Barrie taking an extra 2 minutes.
Ruzicka receives 5 minutes for fighting. Root, the extra 2, and it's an instigator penalty, which accompanies with it a 10-minute misconduct. And frankly, that's a bit of an interesting call.
That's not a good call, Peter. Ruzicka punched Root in the face first to initiate things, and Root just started pushing back. It was pretty mutual from what I saw.
Owen Sound on the power play, looking to add to this 2-goal advantage. 6 second period goals. 4 of them off the stick of Owen Sound players. Brad Richardson leading the way with 3 goals and an assist. Having some kind of night. Bryan Little has a pair for Barrie, and here's Richardson carrying into the zone. the 19-year-old from Belleville. Shakira looking for the redirect. Little in his own zone, or ringing on the boards, held in by Shakira, the Slovakian. Hard snap shot, scores! And that's Brad Richardson's 4th of the night.
It's a one-man wrecking crew right here with Brad Richardson, the way he's shooting the puck. He has that quick release. We saw it earlier on in the game when he scored a goal off the rebound. This one here, he just cleanly beats Too Hot on the short side coming out of the corner. Kind of looks away a little bit as if he's going to pass. Big screen by Robin Big Snake out front of the net. Makes it tough for Too Hot to see the puck.
Brad Richardson's 4th of the game, and there's still 2:22 left in the second period. The last time John and I were in this building, or at least Rogers Sportsnet was in this building, and these two teams played last season, we watched Bryan Little score 4 times. Tonight, it's Brad Richardson's turn to find the net 4 times.
You called it earlier, Peter. You said that it was a possibility, and the way Richardson has been playing, he's been fantastic.
He might get 7 the way he's been going. It's Too Hot. Has that go in behind him? Well, it's been a rough night for the Colt goaltenders. Bengolski tied up on the play by Aaron Lewicki. And if you're Marty Williamson, I know what he's thinking right now. Somebody sound the buzzer and get us in a dressing room.
They need to go in and regroup right now. The goaltenders, both of them, were struggling to find loose pucks.
Bengolski with a yeoman's effort, and Too Hot with a save. Richardson from Sanguinetti and Shakira, power play goal at 17:38 has made it 6-3.
Marty Williamson has got to be patient with his squad right now. His goaltender has given up a couple chances that should not have been goals. His team has been playing tough physical hockey. He needs to tell them to refocus, get in the locker room, get ready for the third period. They've been getting opportunities in this game and haven't been able to capitalize. The goaltender Brown at the other end has been tough, but they have to stay disciplined and keep on playing tough, stay focused.
The record for most goals by a member of the Owen Sound Attack is 5. Wes Goldie scored 5 goals in a game January the 6th, 1999 versus St. Mike's. And Brad Richardson still has over a period to go to maybe tie that mark because he has 4. What a show. We're into the last minute of the second period that has featured 7 goals, and there's still time for more. Shakira trying to move it out of his own territory. Ryan Hamilton in behind the net. What a move by Heisey. His shot, Brown got a piece of it. Excellent maneuver by the veteran Heisey to put himself in a scoring position. Andrew Marshall snaps it. It's blocked. Here's Cristino. His shot blocked. Loose in front. Rebound. Hamilton after Brown made a nice save. Hamilton turning with Heisey and Fuller. Heisey comes away with a loose puck. Good shift for 26. Heisey still with it. He's pulled down, and Brown, I thought that was going to sneak underneath him just for a second.
And this is what I'm talking about. Barrie does get good pressure in the offensive end of the ice to create things. Rob Heisey is so short and strong on his feet. He's hard to take off the puck. He shows great patience with the puck. Walks around Jarrett, taking it hard, keeps his feet moving, gets hauled down, trying to draw a penalty, but just shows great composure. That shows why he had 96 points last year with Erie and 57 to lead the team this year. Just a fantastic offensive threat.
Bryan Little wins the faceoff. A backhander. Trombley. Brown still doesn't know where it is. Oh, very fortunate at the Owen Sound end, as the buzzer goes to bring an end to a fast, furious second period. Look at this. How close was this to going in the net?
Hunter Trombley just works hard off, beat his man off the faceoff to get to the front of the net. Brown has no idea where that puck is. big save. They get out of the period with a 3-goal lead. Could have been cut to 2, but this Owen Sound team and Brad Richardson are on fire.
Brad Richardson has 4 goals and an assist. The Colorado Avalanche, 5th-round draft pick, has been first rate tonight.
Explosive second period. Let me do the math quickly. In all, 7 goals, 6-3. Owen Sound with the lead over Barrie. Back with the third period momentarily. But here's what's going on elsewhere in the Ontario Hockey League on this night. Kitchener taking on Peterborough. First period, Matt Lashoff with the point shot, stopped by Errol Kilpilane, and things get physical. Matt Pepe laying out Jordan Morrison. Then Dave Clarkson and Greg Stewart going to drop him and throw. No score after 1. Second period, Pete's on the power play. Hendricks with a point shot, stopped by Dan Turple. And that's why it remains scoreless through 2 now in Peterborough. And I asked the question again, too bad Pete Peters never played for the Peterborough Petes. Be quite a mouthful. Sault Ste. Marie taking on the Spitfires of Windsor. First period, 12 seconds in. Steve Downey. 10 Downey Street gets number 16, 1-0 Windsor. The Greyhounds looking to answer. Blair Jarrett driving to the net, but he is denied by Netchel. Cal O'Reilly with a great pass to Paul McFarland. McFarland will, finish off the beautiful reverse. Yeah, and he's pointing fingers and saying thanks for the pass. 2-0 Windsor there. Tyler Kennedy in the slot will cut the lead in half. Sault Ste. Marie and the Great Unis trail 2-1. Second period, Sioux on the power play. Martin Tuma with a point shot, and we are tied at 2. That's where it sits in the second period as the Sioux trying to move back to the 500 mark. We may get to see a little bit of this game in bonus coverage following the game you're watching. Florida Marlins showed off their big catch from the free agent market on this day. That would be Carlos Delgado putting on a Marlin cap and jersey. After listening to offers from 4 teams, the former Blue Jay signed that 4-year, $52 million deal on Tuesday. Delgado didn't take any parting shots at Toronto, but he did have this to say. Hope he doesn't mention how cold it is.
After being somewhere else for about 10 years and not having the opportunity to smell the playoffs, I felt like I was in a position where I want to put myself in a team that had a chance to win, and that's the Florida Marlins. And today, I'm very excited to be here. Obviously, there's going to be some sort of learning curve, but my approach is going to be I'm going to stay with my strength. I mean, I'm not, because I changed leagues, that doesn't mean that I'm going to change my game.
Sportsnet News follows the game. Darren Millard, Sean McCormick, and of course, the big story remains the meeting in New York, and there is positive news from that as we speak. Most people think they're going to meet again tomorrow, which would more than likely mean that a deal is in the offing. Man, no deal for Brad Richardson. They're going to hang on to this guy who's got 4. That's his 4th on the night. The record for Owen Sound, 5 in a game. He'll chase it in the 3rd.
It's been a lot of fun tonight here in Barrie, and next week in Owen Sound, it will continue. It's the OHL All-Star Game from Owen Sound, and our guest right now will participate in that contest. Barrie Colts second-year centerman, Bryan Little. And Bryan, first off, congratulations on being named to that team. Second of all, what happened in the last 5 or 6 minutes of that wild and wacky second period?
I don't know. I think we just got running around on the defense a bit. It was a little scrappy, a little chippy in our own end, and I think we just have to communicate a little better and, just slow things down.
Now, Bryan, you're just coming off an injury. You missed 4 games. It hasn't seemed to hurt you much in this game. You've already got a couple of goals. What do you have to do in this third period for your team to get better?
We just got to pick up our game in our own end and, try and keep things simple in the offensive zone and, to start putting any pucks at the net, try and get some chances.
Bryan, how have you felt about your season so far? You're coming off last year. You were the Rookie of the Year. You had a great summer helping Canada win a gold medal at the Under-18 tournament. How's year 2 been for you?
Not too bad. I had a pretty slow start. It's not that I was playing too bad. It's just, I was getting a lot of chances. I wasn't getting any bounces, but, the last couple games before I got hurt, I was getting some points and I was helping the team out a bit. And, it's starting to come back a bit.
Now, you were a Rookie of the Year last year. You had 34 goals. This year you have a new coach. How has he helped your game, and in which way has he helped you get better this year, maybe improve as a second-year player?
He strives on defense from the start of the year. That's all we practiced. And, right now, the last couple of games, we're trying to just keep the goals against a minimum. And, we're just, his concept is basically defense first, and then offense will come.
Bryan, it's such a competitive year in the Eastern Conference. It goes without saying, but every night is so important because you guys find yourselves right now down in your division, yet still just a few points out of first place.
Yeah, I know. It's almost been like that all year. The points have been real hard to come by, with Brampton and Mississauga and all those teams in our conference playing so well. It's hard to get those points. But, every game matters, and, we're going to take every game really huge till the end of the year.
Bryan, glad you're healthy. Congratulations on 2 goals, and we'll see what you can do here in the third.
Thanks a lot.
Bryan Little has his 20th and 21st of the year tonight in Barrie, but his Colts trail by 3 after 40 minutes. Lots of talk about whether Richardson should have 4 goals or 3. I think we finally got evidence that suggests it should be 4.
There's distinct evidence. Lucas Bolf is in front. 33 White will knock the puck off his own goalie. Look between his legs and bounce it into the net. No other black jersey touches the puck after Richardson shoots it. It should be his 4th goal of the game.
Right now, credited to Giles for his 2nd, but that's going to change. And what's also going to change is more players in the penalty box, because right off the draw, it's Big Snake and B.J. Crombeen, and this could get interesting if they get loose.
B.J. Crombeen is not one player to back down. He is a tough customer. He can score goals, but he can stick up for himself as well.
And he's throwing some big rights, and so is Robin Big Snake. 230 penalty minutes last year with Portland to the Western Hockey League. Boy, this is a heavyweight affair. Crombeen with a couple of uppercuts, and this is a haymaker fest. Ding, ding. I think we're just about ready to end this one. Linesman.
They should jump in now. That's a perfect opportunity.
And they will. 2 seconds into this third period and a 6-3 Owen Sound lead. Big Snake and Crombeen are going to sit down for a few minutes. And Crombeen just looked flat out angry as that whole affair was going on. And their night might be over.
Yeah, it would not surprise me. Not a good trade-off for Barrie. Owen Sound has a lot more guns. They are up by a few goals, but this is a player that, with Crombeen, they need in the lineup to get a little bit of offense. They've got 20 minutes of hockey to play. They need some goals to get back into this game, and Crombeen, one player that can provide that for them. Big Snake, maybe a good move, taking one of their key guys off.
Referee Ryan Carroll straightening things out. Robin Big Snake remains in the penalty box while B.J. Crombeen has made his way to the dressing room, and Big Snake is yapping at the Barrie Colts players, and there are 3 of them in the old sin bin. Well, we've had a little fun, haven't we? Welcome to Barrie, everyone.
Complete action from the first drop of the puck. I mean, forechecking, tenacious forechecking, hits, and a lot of goals. No question about that. Few good fights. Entertainment at its finest.
Well, the score was 1-1 after 1 and 6-3 now in favor of the Attack. We also made mention of the fact that the second period has been the bugaboo all season for the Colts, and that trend continued here this evening. But John, if memory serves me correctly, the last Rogers Sportsnet game that we did here between these two teams last season also featured a large third period comeback by the Colts. So might we have a repeat performance of a 4-goal effort by one team and a big comeback by the home team? I guess the next 19 or more will straighten that out.
Well, Barrie has outscored their opponents 53-49 in the third period. They have the ability to put the puck in the net. Rob Heisey started out with a good shift, driving to the net. He finished off the second period very well. He taking the puck and getting a good shot on Brown. So Hunter Tremblay also had a good opportunity to end the period. This Barrie team is not going to give up.
Referee Carroll back over at the penalty timekeeper to try and straighten something out. They might add some time. They have indeed added 6 seconds, and Marty Williamson will take all the seconds back that he can get, trailing by 3. And now the referee will go over and talk to the coaches about exactly what he's done. Brad Richardson, by our count, 4 goals and an assist. And now has 67 points on the season. One of the finest individual performances through 2 periods that I've seen in junior hockey, John, in quite some time.
Well, we talked about it, I'll say it again, never seen him play a bad game, but he's impressed me. He's way better than anybody else on this ice tonight.
And there's been some other pretty good players, like Bryan Little, who has 2. Kyle Lamb turns it over. Hunter Tremblay scores! And might that be the start of a big comeback? It's 6-4.
Well, we talked about it, how this team has the ability to come back. And Hunter Tremblay again hunts down the puck. A good forecheck. Lamb not wide to try to make a reverse to get it back to Sekera behind the net. Just not a good choice to make on that play. There's a man, turns the puck over. If he keeps on going with the puck, he has no problem. But Tremblay on the backhand, spins around and shoves it in between the goal pads of Tremblay.
Hunter Tremblay continues to add to a career offensive year. And just what the doctor ordered for the Colts, an early third period goal. Sanguinetti, big rebound by Francis Drouin, who replaced Dan LaCosta, the starter, after he surrendered the 5th Owen Sound goal.
Jordan Shine, a nice block coming out to the point. The one thing that this Barrie team has been doing very well is covering the lanes in their own end of the ice, not letting shots get through to the net. Rob Heisey intercepting some cross ice passes in the crease area. You can tell they've been working on their defensive game.
Hunter Tremblay's 21st of the season has cut the deficit to 2. And his first of the year against Owen Sound. Hanley flips it in and gives chase. Drouin out of the net to play. Just past Peyton Wilson on the stick of Travis Fuller. Fuller, look at it. Avoids the big hit at his own line as Hanley shovels it in. Andrew Dennis to Dan Spear with Heisey. Heisey always dangerous. Knocked down as he tried a backhand pass. And a penalty coming up. And is it going to go to the attack for hooking? And if it does, now Barrie would go back on the power play, trailing by a pair.
Well, they have Matt Smith going to the penalty box, and a play coming through. Rob Heisey has the puck. Gets just tripped up a little bit by Smith as he crosses over the blue line. Looked very innocent, but the referee's calling it close. And again, another opportunity to come within 1 goal.
Ball into the corner for Bryan Little, who has his 20th and 21st of the year. Tremblay just scored his 21st. Lucas Wolf at the blue line with the puck. Finds Scott Hotham. Hotham has a power play goal in this contest, his 4th of the year. Tremblay and Little in the corner with Sekera. Ryan Hamilton. Intercepted by Richardson, who fails to clear the zone. Lucas Wolf redirected and blocked in front by Theo Peckham on the penalty kill. Little and Tremblay. Hamilton parked in front of the net. Here's Little trying to move away from Theo Peckham, who's doing a nice job defensively for Owen Sound. Tremblay backhands Finds it for Little. Peckham with his glove shoveled it to the end boards. Hamilton fakes a pass. Peckham loses his helmet and had to go to the bench and a change. Little shot blocked and Bizanet clears it the length of the ice.
Good job by Peckham to get to the bench quickly. He didn't even hesitate to try to stop and pick his helmet up. He went off really quickly, got off the ice. Bizanet covered for him. Nothing lost, nothing gained for Barrie in the offensive zone on the power play.
30 seconds to go in this Barrie man power advantage. Heisey, spear in front of the net is Fuller. Heisey on the exchange, has to move. He scores, and it's 6-5.
Against the penalty killing unit, which is 17th in the Ontario Hockey League by the Owen Sound Attack, Rob Heisey is taking advantage of it. Walking out of the corner, a man pitching down on the play, creates good room. Spear pitches down on the defenseman, gives Heisey a little bit of room to come through in the high slot, and a beautiful shot over the glove of Brown on the short side. Looks like Brown didn't even see the puck.
Power play goal for Rob Heisey. And a 6-3 deficit has turned into 6-5 with two early third period Barrie Colts goals. Jordan Shine towards Chris Morrison, who is loose in front. Cristino, the roller, it's still loose. And Mike Brown finds it just in the nick of time as it looked like it was rolling over the goal line.
I've never seen so many goaltenders have trouble finding the puck and covering it up to stop the play. The Barrie goalies, both of them have been having trouble. All of a sudden, Brown is having trouble. Chris Morrison will drive hard to the net. And Chad Robinson, again, in the back door, sees a loose puck. He can't finish on the play. But how about this turn of events with Barrie taking advantage of every situation? This is a different team. You know that Williamson went into the dressing room between periods, gave them a solid pep talk, boosted their morale, and they've just taken advantage of it and played hard.
Off the draw, Hamilton gets free. He spins and gets knocked to the ice. Heisey on the power play from Fuller at 3:46. There may be another assist added. What a game. Patrick Jarrett shovels it in. He has his 16th of the year tonight. Ruzicka, nice pass to find Jarrett. Jarrett in front of the net is Giles. And it's Trombley. For Ryan Hamilton. Runs into Matt Smith. Bryan Little. Checked off the puck by Giles. And here's Richardson. 4 goals and an assist. And he wants more. Snaps it hard and low on the short side. Bizanet waits for Richardson to get back onside. Heisey for Scott Huffman, and he'll flip it towards Dan Spear with Heisey in full flight. Heisey, nice little move. And a weak shot gobbled up by Mike Brown.
Well, Travis Fuller's getting an opportunity now to play on the top line. We spoke about this earlier. He started the game off on the 4th line, but with BJ Crom being out with the fight, Fuller, as a 15-goal scorer, he's considered the 6th or 7th forward on this team. He can fit right in, and this line will not lose anything.
Dan Spear also credited with an assist on the Heisey power play goal. Giles, Bizanet. Ball knocked it out of midair to hold in. He has a couple of helpers in the air. Heisey will handle at center. Nice move. Out there with Spear and Fuller. It's a partial 2-on-1. Heisey goes to the backhand of the wraparound, and Brown just kept the blocker down to make the save. What a turn of events. Fuller. Fans on it. Spear. Fuller and Heisey. Heisey trying to cut out in front. He's upended by Sanganetti.
That's a good smart play. Taking the body on Heisey.
Eric Brochu lifted off the puck. Scott Huffman. So we continue to go end to end. How do you like this one for junior hockey? Just offside at the line. It was 6-3 when this period began, but that's all changed now. CHL Top Scorers brought to you by CGC Incorporated, sponsor of the CHL's Top Scorer Award.
Sidney Crosby continues to lead the Canadian Hockey League. Corey Perry, same position. Dylan Hunter is 5th overall, but the key note is Brad Richardson with 69 points is 1 point behind Dylan Hunter for 6th overall in the Canadian Hockey League scoring.
Brad Richardson with 5 points in this hockey game. And now is 69, as John alluded to. On the ear is Chad Robinson. Just missed on the short side, looking for the equalizer. It was 6-3 when this period began in favor of Owen Sound. It's 6-5 thanks to goals by Tremblay and Heisey. Jordan Shine was involved in a fight earlier in this game. Knocks his man to the ice. Gindalski. Stick handling is Morrison, the outlet, and Perry. Perry, nice move at the blue line. Helping out defensively is Jeff Kurzakis. Gindalski towards Kurzakis, and Perry knocked it down. From Ingleside, Ontario is where Todd Perry hails from. Long shot, and Tuat will hold on.
Now would be a good time for a third-line winger, a grinder maybe to chip in, and a good pass from Perry to Jordan Shine, getting it over to Chad Robinson. Chad Robinson, a former Peterborough Pete and a former first-round draft pick with the Brampton Battalion, drafted 12th overall. You would think that maybe he would have the skill to finish off on something and help his team out in a key situation.
Robinson with 5 goals so far this season. Robin Bigsman back out on the ice after his battle earlier in this period with B.J. Crombie. Bigsman into the corner, and Patrick Curie, the high slap, Kurzakis. His shot was blocked. Mosquito at the referee with it. Bigsman gives chase with Lucas Ball. They collide in the corner. Ball will reverse it. Smith races to hold it in, looks for the redirect, and Tuat had trouble locating it. It almost went high in the air and bounced into the goal. Boy, it's been a rough night for goalies. Hunter Tremblay moves into the zone, runs into Theo Peckham. Nice check by the first-year blue line. Peckham moves it ahead, missed his man, and turns into an icing call.
Now we've had some crazy goals in this game, and a good shot from Matt Smith just getting it through to the net. Lucas Balf gets his stick on it again. Poor Tuat has no idea where the puck is. It deflects high up in the air. Looks like it could possibly even bounce down into the net. Lucky break for the Barrie Colts.
It bounced another foot to the left. It's 7-5.
You don't want a goal score like that. We want good goals from now on.
If you're a goalie, you just want to go home. Long wrist shot from Scott Huffman from the line. Here's Richardson. Snaps it in. Ruzicka and Giles join him. Richardson tied up in the end boards by Andrew Marshall. It keeps the play alive. Richardson fighting for it, and it's Scott Huffman who comes away with it. Nice pass for Heisey, who's been dangerous the last 4 or 5 minutes. Has a third period goal on the power play. To the line, and Huffman fakes the shot, now lets it go, looking for a deflection in front. It's Fuller back out with Heisey and Spear. Right wing pass tucked away from Giles. Huffman quickly ahead, Heisey and Fuller. It was in behind him, or it would have led to a 2-on-1.
Well, Peter, Stefan Ruzicka, what a solid player for this top line, playing alongside with Brad Richardson tonight as well as Scott Giles. But Ruzicka is such a skilled player, and I think before he came to the Ontario Hockey League, he could get by with playing half a game, maybe not full 60 minutes. I think for him to make that next step, turn pro for the Philadelphia Flyers organization, he has to learn to play a full 60 minutes.
Ruzicka competed in his second World Junior Championship, 3 goals and 3 assists for 6 points. One of the leading scorers for Slovakia. Colin Hamlin and Chris Morrison in quite a battle. Jordan Shine helps out, trying to dig it free for Barrie. Well, there's been some great battles along the boards for pucks. Jonathan Lehan comes away. BJ Cronbean's misconduct is over, so he's back on the ice, the Barrie captain. Lehan in front of the net. Good opportunity. Gongolski. Kyle Lamb snapped it. Just missed. And Andrew Dennis carries it to the line and now just out. Igor Gongolski will flip it in, and Owen Sound makes wholesale changes.
Nice play by Perry. Good stick position in front of the net, taking away a clear pass and a clear shot on net.
Here's Ryan Hamilton from a sharp angle. Big rebound and a backhander off the stick of Little, stopped by Mike Brown. Tuat leaves for Plestina. Runs into Patrick Jarrett. Action, and yeah, more action. Peckham off the board. Plestina for Lucas Ball. Does he ever come off the ice? Logged a lot of time for Barrie. In behind the defenders was Hamilton. Just hopped off his stick. Bryan Little to Lucas Ball. Snaps it, blocked. Good play by Kurzakis. And Robin Big Snake will find Kurzakis. Big Snake racing in after the puck was Plestina. Tremblay backhands it. Nice play to find Dan Spear. High energy as Dan Spear plays it towards Little in front of the net. Little in front for Spear, and he was hooked to the ice by Matt Smith. As the net comes off its mooring, Mike Brown shuts the door to keep his team ahead by 1. The game review brought to you by Castrol GTX High Mileage. It helps older cars feel young again.
The 6-5 game, this has had everything in it. Peter, Brad Richardson, 4 goals, 1 assist. Bryan Little, coming off a 4-game injury, has 2 goals in the game. The power plays are completely even. Rob Heisey also having a good game with a goal and an assist, but Little and Richardson have been the stars of this show.
Sanguinetti and Scott Giles. Back out with Richardson and Ruzicka. In case you just joined us, Brad Richardson has 4 goals and an assist. And that's the official count, and a penalty on its way to Barrie. Richardson, stick handling, shoots it at the net. Giles, Ruzicka scores! Stefan Ruzicka with a delayed penalty coming up, and it's 7-5.
Well, the one thing about Owen Sound, they're so effective below the goal line, jumping on loose pucks. They have good patience. They don't throw the puck away. Ruzicka will come from behind the net. Hoffman will get lost. Ruzicka wide open as the puck comes across the crease area. There's a wide open net. Tuat cannot get across to make the save. He's still down on his knees, hugging the post on the left-hand side of the net. But quick puck movement, it seems like everybody's always in motion for Owen Sound around the net area. Very tough to pick up a guy one-on-one.
Ruzicka's had great success against Barrie this year. That's his 4th of the season. And guess who's going to draw another assist? Brad Richardson. 6 points for number 15 of the attack.
And a penalty kill is just not what Barrie needed in this situation. And to have a goal scored on a delayed call is just not a good situation. They didn't even get a chance to kill it off. That's how effective Owen Sound is. They have so much talent, such a deep scoring threat. And Marty Williamson needs to sit down with his team and try to get them to focus on playing disciplined hockey. They wanted to stay out of the box in this game, and it's come to haunt them a couple times.
Ruzicka's 28th of the year from Richardson and Giles at 12:07. Brad Richardson, 4 goals, 2 assists. Chris Morrison into the corner and BJ Crombie. Perry lets it go off a stick of Gongolski and into the mesh.
Well, Todd Perry has only played in 7 games. This will be his 8th game. Came from Boston College. Wasn't playing very much, and it's his draft year, so he wanted to make sure he got noticed. He's a big 6'3", 215-pound player. I've noticed him in this third period a little bit more. I think his adjustment to the game has been improved as the game has gone along.
Hamilton with a skate directs it into the corner, and Theo Peckham banks it off the glass and out to center ice. Bryan Little. Does Barrie still have another offensive outburst left in them? 6-5 was the score when this period began. They cut the gap to 1, and the big goal by Ruzicka has made it a 2-goal difference again. But still, 6:45 remaining in regulation. And you don't get the feeling that goals will be stopped quite yet.
Goals have been scored at the most inopportune times against these goaltenders. They've let in some weak ones, and we've had a couple of really nice shots, but I'm telling you, the goals are going in. They're fluky, some of them, and the goaltenders are struggling with the puck.
Kyle Lamb tipped that to center. Heisey watched closely by Kerzakis. Kerzakis is a good skater. He makes some things happen out there. So does Patrick Jarrett, stuck by Francis Tuat, and he handles it off the end boards.
Now, there's a good reason why Owen Sound is such an effective team this year. That shows the depth on this team in goal scoring. Richardson leads the team with 32. Ruzicka 28. Ryan, not in the lineup, has 26. Big Snake, a tough enforcer with 19. And Patrick Jarrett, the overage veteran, also has 16 goals. They have a lot of depth. Power play goals. Richardson with 13.
Well, they showed why they had 168 goals coming into the night and make it 175 to this point in this contest. Only the London Knights have found the net more.
Pretty tough to check only a couple of guys with that kind of depth.
Kerzakis towards Jared and Big Snake. Robin Big Snake. Jared whacking away at it, so is Kerzakis. Jared in front, good save, Tuat, a couple of them in fact, to keep his team still alive. They trail Owen Sound by a pair.
The Ontario Hockey League on Rogers Sportsnet. Brought to you by Subway Restaurants. Try Subway's delicious new fresh toasted barbecue steak with melted Monterey cheddar cheese. Fresh toasted at Subway. Eat fresh.
7-5 in favor of Owen Sound. 5:32 left in regulation. Brad Richardson with 4 goals and 2 assists for the attack. Crombie's pass hit a stick, carrying on as Andrew Marshall as far as the line. And Ruzicka back out with Giles and Richardson one more time. Hotham up the middle. Lewicki directs it to BJ Crombie. Lewicki bursts in on the wing, fires it through the crease. Marshall, nice pass to Hotham. Lots of traffic in front of the net. Brown didn't see it, but it never made its way through on target. Chad Robinson backhanded, gobbled up by Giles. For Ruzicka, who has a big goal in this period that made it 7-5, that stemmed the Barrie tie. That big comeback I was referring to earlier was not a result of the game in which Bryan Little scored 4 goals back last year on March the 4th. However, it was a game in Owen Sound in last season's play, December the 10th, when Barrie trailed in Owen Sound 5-3 going to the third, and ended up winning that game 6-5 in overtime on a Corey Stillman overtime winner. Stillman tied that game with just over a minute to go in regulation with the net empty. Bryan Little off his stick back to center ice. Tremblay has a third period goal. Hamilton, Little to the front of the net, but he's hooked up and tied up by Giles. Is turning back the other way is Gingalski. Igor Gingalski by himself. So Owen Sound making some changes. Little loses the handle to Jarrett, and he backhands it deep to the zone. Plastino lets it go by. Pitching down is Lamb, and Tremblay will be able to get it up. Stopped up by Robin Bigsnake. Robin Bigsnake, 19 goals on the year. Leading the break up the ice with Patrick Jarrett. Drops it off. Kurzakis in front of the net, and it nearly hit Plastino and went in. Caromed into the corner. And John, I wonder how long we'll wait to see if Mr. Williamson makes a move to remove his goaltender with 3 minutes remaining in regulation.
While we know the goaltender was pulled in the big comeback that we saw last season, you never know what's going to happen. It's a 2-goal difference. They need to get something done within this last 3 minutes.
Moffat, Crombie, and Fuller in behind the defense. That looked like it was offside. The play continues. Richardson and Ruzicka. Ruzicka, a hard snapshot.
Well, we showed you how deep Owen Sound is in the scoring department. This is how they stack up against the London Knights. London with 10 more wins, with 82 points, 168 goals for and 186 goals. This is coming into the Knights game. Now, for Owen Sound, 122 goals against is a key, opposed to London's 90, and the penalty killing as well, 78%, with London being very high at 87%. So those are the two major differences between the two teams, but first and second in the Ontario Hockey League, Owen Sound really showing that they have the stuff.
By the way, for those of you looking to watch an excellent hockey game on the weekend, if you're in the Owen Sound area, Owen Sound will play host to the London Knights in a game on Saturday night. And it's a tough road for Owen Sound. They go home to take on division-leading Peterborough tomorrow, and then we'll cap off 3-3 against London Saturday. And oh, how I'd love to be in the building for that game.
And this has not been an easy game for Owen Sound. When Barrie keep on fighting back, they had to keep on working, stay on their game to keep ahead of this team tonight.
I wonder how my wife feels about making a little road trip to Owen Sound. Giles a backhand try. Spear leading a 3-on-2 rush. Spear puts on the brakes. Into the high slot, moving in was Chris Morrison. And that shot hit a body in front. Lucas Balf snaps it. Sekera blocks it and clears it.
Well, you see Barrie now. They're starting to get the defensemen jumping up on the play, pitching in, trying to do anything they can. Some odd man rushes against if they don't capitalize.
Gordon Shine went heavily into the boards. Good to see him bounce up quickly. A minute and a half just over that remaining in regulation. We'll continue to look towards Francis Couat in the Barrie goal to see if he'll be removed. I say, why not? Here's Hunter Tremblay. One-on-one with Theo Peckham, and there goes Couat to the bench. And is Richardson out there again? Not yet. Hamilton in behind the defenders. Brown poked it to the corner. The net is empty. Tremblay, Crombie, a deflection, just missed. Crombie and a fight on the end boards. We're into the last minute. The deficit is 2. Marshall, nice pass to Bryan Little. Little and Hamilton. Hamilton tries the wraparound, stopped up. Tremblay. Hunter Tremblay, loose in front. Brown down, scores! And Bryan Little has the hat trick with 43 seconds left. And what now is a 1-goal game again.
Well, pulling the goaltender can be such an advantage if you can gain control of the puck in the offensive end of the ice, and Barrie was able to do that. Hunter Tremblay has been fantastic picking up loose pucks and winning battles in the offensive zone. Bryan Little will jump out from behind the goal line after Tremblay just fires it to the crease area. Now, it looks like Owen Sound maybe has control, can clear that puck out, but no, it's kicked right to the stick of Bryan Little for his hat trick in this game.
I'm guessing we're going to see a timeout with 43 seconds left as Little, this guy should play on Rogers Sportsnet every game.
Well, he's a gamer. After missing games with an injury and coming back and playing in his first game back, scoring a hat trick. Very impressive.
Here comes Tuat to the bench again for the extra attacker. Could it be one more time? Moving in, a hard shot by Little, and the glove save from Brown.
One of the Owen Sound defenders just got his stick in front of Little as he was going to shoot it. He did not get it all on that shot, but jumping down into the slot, he really gets through the seams quickly. Puck will bounce out of the corner right to his stick. The last second, one of the Owen Sound defenders gets his stick on the puck. Peckham gets his stick on that shot, making it a little bit easier for Brown to make the save.
Barrie has called a timeout. Marty Williamson gathers the troops. Little's third of the night from Hunter Tremblay and Ryan Hamilton at 19-17, setting the stage for quite a finish. 13 goals in this contest. A quick look back at Bryan Little's hat trick. Could he tie the game with his fourth?
Would that be interesting? 2 4-goal scorers, but Bryan Little, there's Hunter Tremblay again, getting the puck to the crease area, and Little jumping down to the slot in quick hands. This is just a beautiful feed to send him on a breakaway. He's not going to miss a wide open chance. And again, Tremblay gets it to the net, Little jumping on a rebound.
30.8 seconds to go, a crucial draw, won by the Colts. Trombine blocked in front. Peckham and Kersakis both diving in front of it. Little and Tremblay. Tremblay trying to play it in front. Trombine, his shot, that hit a stick and deflected out of play, so another huge face-off deep in Owen Sound territory, this time to the right of Brown.
I do not know how Trombine is all alone in the slot area right now. Tremblay picking out from the far side, but patience by Crombie, knowing that he doesn't have a good clean shot right away, waits, but it is blocked by a good sliding defensive play.
Heisey to take the draw against Kersakis. And Heisey wins. Scott Hoffman shovels it in behind the net. 8 seconds left. Crombie hit Richardson's stick. Heisey, Crombie wants to shoot the rolling puck. And the buzzer goes. And the Owen Sound Attack hang on for a 7-6 victory as we've got some rough stuff, and you hope this doesn't get really ugly.
We don't need any of this stuff in this game. Both these teams battled hard. They're not known to be real physical fighting teams. They both only have 700 or so penalty minutes.
Bryan Little is down there involved. Scott Hotham is there. Hard to see who's underneath that pile for Owen Sound. And you know the last thing Barrie wants to see is Bryan Little in a fight, just coming back off an upper body injury. And boy, they're still not ready to go back to the dressing rooms. This one is over. 7-6 the final. Brad Richardson with 4 goals and 2 assists for Owen Sound. And let's take a quick look back. Barrie had their chances, John, to send this to overtime.
Well, they really are getting traffic to the front of the net. A rolling puck is really what cost them in this last play. Crombie could not get the puck to the net, and that's where everything ensued. All the rough play in front, those little fisticuffs after the whistle, after the buzzer had gone. But, I mean, an emotional game, Peter. You talk about a rivalry between these two teams, and you can see that how it's built up over the season. Owen Sound now has 3 wins under their belt. But what a series.
And what a night. They finally break it up. The Owen Sound Attack win it 7-6.